Hey guys, welcome to the show tonight. I feel like there is a huge awakening happening. Obviously, we've heard that several times. There's several outlets that are actually talking about that as well. So, I think it's pretty cool that we are alive in this particular time frame. Like this only happens, this whole Christ-like consciousness only happens like is it every 6,000 years? Is that what I was getting from some of the outlets that I'm listening to? But I did want to go over emotional healing and emotional health because I felt like this is something that I struggled with a lot, considering that, like, I come from a broken family. So my parents were not engaged in my emotional upbringing or even my physical as a child upbringing. So I feel like there was a lot of trauma right off the rip. So as I got older, it was hard for me to understand what I was thinking and then also what I was doing. So I couldn't put the two, like the action and the thought together. I felt like I was just very reckless at that time in my life. And I felt like I gave myself the justification to be that way, right? So obviously the ding, yeah. So I feel like over time, I started to kind of shut out certain thought processes in my life, such as religion or such as, for me, it was Christianity. Um, Getting older, I will be 50 in a couple years. So as I've gotten older, I've noticed that um, the landscape of my mind is quite different now. The things that I spotlight or the things that I make important or prioritize in my life are different now, which they should be. I get that. But my emotional health was at such a reckless point to where I feel like I started to get depressed. I started to have anxiety in my life and I didn't know where that was coming from. I just blamed it on everybody else. So I think I got to a point in my life where I was just like, I really needed to be real with myself, my life, and really look in the mirror and go, but are you really that way? Or is that really you? You know, people will put things in your life or in your mind throughout your life. Throughout your life, that's it. Even from this day and forward, you know. So people will put thoughts and that kind of stuff, their opinions into your life. So you have to learn to discern if that is a good thought. Is that good for me? Is that true? Kind of work things through your head before you own it. Give yourself permission to think out the process before you accept it into like your heart center, right? Because you don't want to put all your traumas and all these little things that people have said to you throughout your life in this little box and then like you carry it around. Because at this point, like you don't need that in your life. Like that's just a bucket of opinions from other people that may or may not even be in your life at this point. So, you have to really decipher, go through your life, your time frames. There should be time frames in your life. Let's say, let's go 0 to 20. Okay, well, at that point, it should probably be about 14 to 20. Okay, what were you doing in that time frame? And then go even 20 to 30. What are you doing there? Give yourself like a 10 years time frame, little segment of life, just to see like, are you being a good human as far as like, are you letting out all your anxiety and letting all your fears and your emotions and all that kind of stuff on somebody else? If you're doing that in your life, you're reflecting your behavior onto them and they may not even be doing that. So that's where I feel like mental health has to really be something that person works on personally, because I don't feel like you can go to a therapist. I mean, some people can, let me preface that. But for me personally, I don't feel like I need to go to somebody to tell them all my feelings, tell them my woes and my desires, right? But then once I leave, I still kind of feel the same way and I paid my copay, So I think for me, it was something that I had to do for myself. I had to find that self discovery and do those shadow work things, those little exercises that I absolutely hate, but they are crucial to your growth and in life. Like if you just keep sweeping everything underneath the rug, what do you think it's going to do? Eventually you're going, another ding. It's funny. I'm getting messages from my daughter. But you're going to eventually just sweep everything underneath the rug. Like you're going to have this mound of a rug, that you still have to live with, that if somebody walks over, some of it may sneak out. So go ahead and deal with it. Deal with the hurt. But okay, sorry, I'm getting so many downloads right now. I start to talk over myself, so I apologize. You have to work this out within yourself. It's okay to go to somebody else and tell them your feelings, because I don't want you to think like you can't. Yes, you can. If that works for you, go ahead and do that. But you somewhere have to do this for yourself. Like there's somewhere that is inside of you that knows that only you know everything that has happened in your life, and you know the truth about it because that was your perception of what happened, right, in that particular trauma. But if you tell another person, yeah, you're gonna leave out some things, or you're gonna maybe beef up a couple little things, that kind of thing. Are you gonna be really true with this therapist or even your friend as far as trying to tell them your feelings or let your emotions out towards somebody? Now, it's healthy emotion to be telling somebody your emotion, but it's not healthy to hurt somebody with your emotion. If you're going through something, I don't feel like you should hack on the next person, or I don't feel like you should belittle the next person because you're feeling some type of way. If that's something that you're dealing with, then that's something that you're going to have to heal. It's not anybody else's responsibility to heal that. Those are your personal traumas. So it's almost like you're being passive aggressive with yourself. So you just can't do that. You have to be very honest with yourself and go through the motions. Allow yourself to be human. Allow yourself to talk yourself through what actually happened to you in those traumas. Now, there may be like a dangerous phrase that kind of, you don't even want to look at it. You don't even want to think about it. But in that dangerous phrase that kind of scares you, there's power in that, because if you can look at that, little seed that has been planted within yourself and actually unfold it and go, you know what, this happened to me, but on what side of it am I at? Like where am I at in this relationship? So what I'm saying here is kind of put yourself back, put yourself in 3D form, right? So not 3D, I apologize. Third party, sorry. So you're putting yourself in third party and you're looking at you, right? And then you're looking at whoever traumatized you, right? Whatever had happened. So as you're doing this, you're sitting there, and now I want you to look back at you and say, did you deserve that? No, probably not. Was that true of what that person have said to you? No, probably not. That's something that you're going to have to say, yes, it was, or no, it wasn't, right? But these are just questions that you can ask yourself. And then once you do go through those questions, get rid of them. Now you can get rid of them, put them on paper. Once you put them on paper, that's 2D. Once it's in your head, it's 3D, because now it's a thing, now it's a feeling, now it's a perspective, right? Then once you get everything down on your head, down on paper, and you're walking yourself through it, and there may be times that you can't, it's hard for you even to write out certain things, right? You may notice that your hand kind of like the energy, and it's like, you can't even write the word that you want to put down on paper, because it stings, right? It's a little, you just don't even want to write it. But then once you do that and that power is down on paper, then fold it up, pray over it. I release you in the name of Jesus. None of this at this point in my life currently matters, okay? And then release that from you. That is an energy. You are taking what is in your head and putting it down on paper, and then you're burning it to release it. You can also cut cords to it. Now, whatever you wrote down is going to have an energy to it. So probably if it's a trauma, then it's going to be a bad kind of a negative energy, right? So this thing that has happened in your life is going to have an energy to it. As you write, like I said with the whole hand, that energy, if you're mad, you may notice that your pencil may really bear down on the paper. Or if it's not light and kind of airy within what you're writing, you may notice your letters get a little scrolly and you're kind of like whimsical about it. That's energy going to paper. Now, once you release it, now you're releasing it, cutting that energy from you, and you're releasing it to God, energy source. You're releasing it out, gone. Not here anymore. It's here, gone. So that's a way to emotionally cut those ties that you may have with family members, or you may have them with friends that you've been friends with for maybe a decade, and now in this 2020 season you're kind of going, who are you? What are you doing? Like, you guys are not on the same frequencies. So as you're learning this stuff, you're going to notice that your frequency is going to go up, and it's going to be here. So notice at that time, maybe your friend comes in, now she's down here. She may be full of fear. She may be scared of the masks, scared of getting sick, the vaccine, all this shit that the media is running into, you guys, right? She's scared of that. So now she's living technically at a lower dense frequency, right? If you're up here, you guys are unequally yoked in some way at this point, right? So your frequency is wrong. You're not going to enjoy those times around this particular person, whether it be a friend or a family member. I've noticed since all of this has even kicked off, there has been a divide, and it's in morals, it's in principles, it's in integrity, it's in so many little things that I actually thought some people had. But now that, like, Facebook is a kind of a tell-all when you're seeing people post, and I don't know, I'm just saying that watch what your frequency is. And even during this time with the new moon phases coming in, you may notice that your frequency comes up. Now, maybe say your family member or your friend, right? This person who you kind of seem to be off kilter with, right? So maybe she, we'll call her she, maybe she comes in and now she's starting to kind of wake up, and now she's going, oh shit, did you know about this? Did you know? And you're going, yeah, I know about that. Like, now you're kind of having to anchor the light for her as she catches up. That's okay. Do that, because at one time you were going, oh my God, did you notice about, oh my God, I can't even sleep anymore. Did you see that? Oh my God, did you see that email? Oh my God, did you, that kind of thing. You're starting to pop open too. Your light's starting to shine through where the truth is at. And somebody had to anchor the light for you too. So I'm just saying, like, have patience with the people that are slowly waking up. I know it's an exciting time to actually be alive. I think it's super, super exciting. It's just because I guess I'm so far so deep in the rabbit hole that, like, the whole GESARA NESARA thing makes me so happy, because I remember, even as a kid, a lot of this trauma healing is going to go back to when you're a kid. So these things will pop up into your head, right? Energy will put that into your landscape of your mind. So I remember as a kid thinking, why isn't there world peace? Why do we have as many wars as we do? Why do we have to pay this, or, taxes? Of course, I wasn't thinking that in like grade school, but like, as you get older, you're kind of going, why do we have this? Nothing really connects, right? I remember having those thoughts, and then now looking at it with GESARA NESARA, and like us helping America, like, even when shit happens, say on another in another country, right? I always wonder, like, why are we helping other countries? And I understand, I understand we are supposed to help, and I do want to help. I totally do. But I feel like we Americans, we need that help first. We need to help our own. And I feel like that's where GESARA is going to come in, and it's going to help our nation, which is absolutely amazing. And then it's going to go, GESARA NESARA is that for globally, and then that's where I'm hoping for no hunger. I'm hoping for world peace. I'm hoping for that transition in our consciousness to ascend. Like we're bigger than what we think we are. The media has belittled us, and even whenever Hillary had said deplorables, like I was shocked. I was, wow, you're supposed to, it's almost like your mom or your dad saying something so horrible to you, just like diminishing you, and you're just like, what the hell? Why would you say that to me? Like, I'm paying my taxes. I'm working my ass off. I'm trying to be a good citizen in life. And now I'm just deplorable? Wow. Like that was shocking to me. And I feel like at that time, the consciousness kind of started to like, I started to kind of go, wow, this is, what is this? So, I'm just saying, watch the emotional healing within yourself, and start to really wake up your soul. Go back to whenever you were a kid and what did you dream of? What did you think of? Ask those questions, those difficult questions that you have to ask yourself anyway. Because think about it. When you go to like therapy or whatever, you're telling your therapist all this stuff and then she's going to ask you questions. Save the copay. Like ask yourself those questions, write it down. Look, I have journals sitting everywhere. Whatever pops into my mind, it goes down, and even looking back at it, sometimes it's like I would start a sentence and it's like, you didn't even finish the sentence. Well, that was what was in my brain at that time, So I just tried to do that a little bit more to get my thoughts or my emotions to get a certain frequency, vibration, emotion out of me. Like even getting like a phone call. You get a phone call, it's from this toxic person, right? And they bombard you with it. So it's not like you can hang up. I mean, I guess you could, like, hey, bad connection, and hang up on the person. But, you're bombarded with this energy. And if you're an empath, you're taking all of this energy, right? And this other person now feels great, but you're just like, oh my gosh, like once the phone call's done, you hang up and then now you feel drained as hell, So watch the energy around you, watch your own energy. If you have to protect yourself, if you have to use crystals, if you have to use a bubble of light from Archangel Michael to protect you, do that, because right now there's a lot of energies in the world that's going, okay? It's going. There are frequencies, low dense energy frequencies right now. We see that in BLM, we see that in Antifa. And let me preface this. Do I love the BLM organization? No. Do I love the BLM movement for Black Americans? Absolutely. I don't back that bullshit of wrecking our towns. I don't back that at all. Antifa, that's horrible. Okay, that's domestic violence within America. I'm not down with that. So, that's that low dense energy. That's what you're going to come across. So when you come across somebody like that, watch your own energy. Protect your energy, protect your heart chakra, protect your solar plexus. You have to, especially during this, because you don't want to emotionally drain yourself during this time. We need to keep our vibrations high. So because we have to ascend, and I talk a lot on my Snap about ascending. Now I use the example of like, obviously like life is a university, but I use it as like a hotel, right? So we're all on floors. Each time you graduate, we move up a floor. So as say you're on the second floor, right? You really can't see much, like you can't really see out, like it's good, like you see the parking lot, right? You got a lot of baggage. Now you learned a couple things. You figured out a few things. You're like, now you're conscious. Now you're awake and you're like, okay, I get it. I'm present, right? Now you move up to the third floor. You still have the same baggage, but you're present, right? You need to get rid of some of that baggage. You need to get rid of some of those things that are no longer serving you in the big scheme of your life, right? Those are going to be things, those little trauma containers that do not serve a purpose in your life anymore. Drop them off on floor 3, right? Now we move up to floor 4. You feel a little lighter. You feel a little bit more enlightened, right? Now your third eye is open. Now you're like, okay, I get it. Third floor. Now you can see out above the trees over the parking lot, right? Cool. Now You've started your emotional healing. Now you've like, okay, I'm going to start doing this. Let's move up to floor 4. All right, so ding, we'll move up there. Now you feel lighter, right? Like you don't have that same baggage. Now you're really seeing over top of the trees and you can actually see out along the landscape of what actually is going on. You're more knowledgeable of what's going on because you can see further, right? Amazing. That was amazing. Thank you. Sorry, I'm getting total downloads as I'm doing this. So as you're moving up these floors, you have to let go of some of the things, again, that don't serve you. If they don't serve you and they maybe happened back on floor 1, what are you doing with it on floor 4 at this point? You know, if it's something that happened in your childhood that really disrupted you at that moment, but you're still holding on to it in floor 4, why? Why are you holding on to that? Let that go. It's going to make you feel lighter. You're going to be a little bit more lightened, right? So now you're starting shadow work. Shit. Shadow work is no fun. Now you go up on floor 5. Now you can see further. Maybe you can see a roadway, right? Now you can see I-75, right? You're a little higher. You've still got some baggage. You've got shit in your life that you have not, like maybe you don't want to let go of it. Maybe you don't want to let go of an ex. Maybe you don't want to let go of something that happened in your life. Maybe you're scared to let go of your parents, but they treat you like shit, right? You're coming to these conclusions as to what is in your life on each floor. Get rid of the things that do not serve you. If it's something that has happened way the hell back on, like, again, lower floors, like lower ages, right? Obviously back in when you were a kid, why are you holding on to it? You have to have this transformation of thoughts. There needs to be growth within yourself so that you can actually grow, because the universe is literally like a university of life. You know, because you may notice that you repeat a lot of things. Like say you're repeating certain little shitty things in your life, right? Maybe you're bad with money, or maybe you're bad with finding men or a woman or whatever. Like you have relationship problems or whatever. Well, if you keep repeating that, that's because you have not learned that lesson. God's going, I'm going to give it to you again, and then see what you do with it, right? If you keep failing at that particular thing, you don't graduate. He's going to keep you at that same floor, right? Let's use that. He's going to keep you there because you're not learning it. You're not learning the test or like little trial in your life. So if you notice that you're in the same like little hamster wheel, or you have the same little cloud over your head, that's because you're not learning what you need to learn while you're here in life. So again, back to the friends. Say you're up here. You've learned a lot. Like you're able to see, you can see the beach, you can see all this stuff, right? But your friend's down here and she's still looking over the parking lot. That's where I need you to like understand that, right? You're trying to say, look, all this shit's happening, like open up your eyes, wake up, all this stuff. But she's still looking over the parking lot until she starts to like want to do that or want to see more. She's going to have to start to check her own self, discern her own spirit as to where she is on earth, on this plane as a human right now. You know, so there are dangerous phrases that you don't want to have to say to yourself, but I feel like you have to be honest with yourself for growth. And if you're not, like even if you go to the therapist and you're telling her things, but you're not really that honest, you're just paying a copay at this point. Like you're just doing this on the same wheel, right? You have to get out of that, and that's going to be doing it yourself, right? That's not going to be anybody else helping you with that. So I just wanted to say that to you. I hope you guys have a good day, and I will catch you on the flip side.